Hey guys, welcome back. So guys, in this video we are going to learn about Laravel 8 CRUD application with resource controller. So guys, we will be using resource controller to make a CRUD application. So guys, for demo we are going to start with the posting of blogs or post things. Okay, so guys, let's get started with it. So first let's move to our editor and let's open our terminal. So control plus tilde, and let's create a model and migration at once. So let's type PHP artisan make colon model, where my model is post hyphen m. So this will create the model and migration table both at once. So guys, now as simple, let me just minimize this again. Let's go to our database first. Let's check the table migration. Over here you can see post table. Perfect. So now, as we saw in previous video, we have done with the login things. So after that login, we need to store the user ID while posting this data. So guys, let's get that integer of user underscore ID and $table. Let's give string, and the title will be title, and let's give medium text. Let's give this also, because sometimes title is too big, that time it will be useful. So title and description. So this is will be the description, and then $table. One status thing we are going to give, tiny int, tiny integer, which will be status, and by default it should accept 0, and also will allow nullable. Let's save. Yep guys, so let's migrate this into our database. PHP artisan migrate. So it's migrated perfectly. And now guys, let's close this and let's move to our model called post. Just now we created. So let's configure the table with the protected $table, where my table name is posts. As simple. Let's see in our DB, refresh our database, and you can see that post table is there. So let's click on this. You can find all the things. Let's get back, and now let's call all the column fields. So protected $fillable is equal to, we missed out, protected. So first is user underscore ID, then second is title, title, and third is the description. So let's copy that, description spelling, and last is status. Just leave that, save it, and let's close this guys. Perfect. So now main, we are going to create the resource controller. PHP artisan make colon controller the resource controller. So post controller hyphen resource. Hit enter. Your controller created successfully. So now let's go to app http controller post controller at the last. Cool. So guys, you can see all the functions has been created automatically, which is for CRUD applications required. Okay, so let's save and let's close this terminal. So guys, first we need to create one folder inside our resource views. Let's create a folder with the name blog, and inside this we need one index file, index.blade.php. Now let's extend the section. So we'll copy this, our default home section. So we are extending that front end layouts, and inside this we require few things. We are going to keep that, and others we are going to remove it. As simple. So this is my card header, card body, and over here posts. Let's add a tag, add posts, add a class, button, oops, button primary float float and let's create the route URL for the posts / create. So this is default thing. Let's go to web.php and create a resource controller, resource where I want to tell posts. Okay, posts at the post controller. So what is our controller name? Let's copy this and directly paste that. So let's remove, put single quotes and paste it. Done. So let's check the route list now. So when you check with the route list, all the things, you will understand how this is working. So guys, now let us open a route list. PHP artisan ROTE route list. Hit enter. You can get the post controller. Over here you can see post controller. So when you create this, you can see this. This is the route which is using get method. Perfect. So let's minimize this and let's continue to create our CRUD. As simple. So guys, now let us view this page over here. Let's come here. We need a button for that calling posts. Okay. So let's take this posts and go to our navbar layouts, INC. Inside our navbar, I need one button. So let's add that posts and paste that posts, save, refresh. Perfect. So now guys, once we click on this, it should go to our post controller at index function. Over here, let's return that, return view, where you're going inside the blog folder at index page. Done. And now it should work. So let's click on post. You can see on the post you are there at add post. Okay. So now let's click on this add post. You can see post. You need to give posts. So make sure you are giving correct spelling. Let's go back to our index page. Over here you give posts because we have given the route as POSTS posts. Done. And yep guys, so let's move to our resource views blog. Let's create a file called create.blade.php file to insert the data. So let's copy this same design and let's keep this in h4 tag. Add post, and for this we will tell back button, change the button design. As simple. Let's save and let's see the output guys for this. Let's see, refresh the page. Let's click on add post. You can see create post. So let's go to the create function inside our post controller. So you can see that create function, nothing is there. Let's return view inside my blog folder, create file. Done. And now you can check the page will load. Cool. So guys, now let's create the form for that. Let's get back to our create file. Let me close this terminal. First, let us create a form and give the method is equal to post and create a URL with the POSTS posts / what is the next procedure to store that. Let us see in the terminal in our route list. So you can see to store that you are getting this same post method. Okay, so you just need to send only posts, nothing else. So let's leave this like this only and create your input fields. So form -group dot margin bottom 3 input dot form control. So guys, now let me just design this form and show you the output. Finally, I have designed this form And now let us see the output, guys, for this. Let's get back, refresh. And now when we fill inside this, it should store the data once we submit inside this table. So now let us write the code to submit that, guys. So first let us go to our post where the URL is going to our controller at store. So let's create one posts variable is equal to new post, and then let's call this with the first column name, which is user ID. So let's call this user ID is equal to authenticated ID. Okay, so authenticated user ID. So why I want this? Because I want to store the data of user ID for this post who have posted this. So first, guys, you need to import the class of this. Let us import that. So you can see that post is imported and we are using authenticated user ID. So let's import this class also at the top, which is this. Okay, as simple. And now, guys, to check that when you insert this record, that time you need to check that, right? Is it authenticated or not? So for that, let's go to our route and set the middleware for it. So let's create one route middleware, middleware, group middleware. Let's keep this authenticated auth1. So auth middleware is created by default. So let's include this inside this, save. And now let's try to access this posts. Let's get back, let's click on this posts. You can see it's redirecting. Okay, we are already logged in. Okay, so that's why it's inside. Now let us try to click on post. You will be redirected to login thing. Okay, so let's wait at gmail.com 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Let's hit enter. You are inside the post. Cool. So now let us add this, guys. So let's get back, let's go to our controller and $post with the title is equal to $request of your input field. So what is my input field name, attribute value? You can see in create title, copy this and paste. So let's copy this and make that description also. Let's copy this description and paste. Let's paste for the status. Let's copy the status is equal to true with the colon. When it is set to true, when it is checked, it will be 1. If it is not checked, it will be 0. As simple. And now let us save this, guys. Save function and return and redirect back to same page where the post was added with the message I want to show as the status, where post added successfully. Save. And now to show the message or your status of that, let's go to create page. So now let's use the if condition, session of your status, and if it is success, then you have to show that in success alert. Let's view that, paste. Oops, let me just, yes, session function of status. Save, guys. So guys, now let us test it. Let's get back, refresh, and now let's try to insert. So this is first post. Let's copy paste until description. Let's keep it unchecked only and submit. Let's click submit. Page expired. Why? Because we didn't pass the CSRF token. So let's add CSRF token because form action requires a token. Let's get back. Let's refresh again and add this, paste. Let's submit. Cool. So post added successfully. why that alert design didn't come. Let us check in that. alert. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, this was the error. Save this and let us add one more detail. This is second post, copy paste, description. Let's submit. Cool. So post added successfully. Let's refresh. You can see everything is working fine. Cool. So now guys, let's get back on the post. You are on the post. Let's see the database. You can see that data is inserted with the user ID 1. Perfect. And now let us view that. Get back. Let's go to index. So first increase the column to 12 and let's create a simple table over here. Table dot table bordered dot table striped, table head, table row, table heading, ID, title, and the show. Let's show the status and the edit button as simple, and then one delete button is there. Save and let's open the table body. Let's scroll it. Let me close this route. Table row, table data. So first you need to loop that. So how will you loop? Let's go to a post controller, add the index function. Let's create a variable called post is equal to your post model, where I'm going to get all function as simple. Let's use a compact function to pass this variable. So let's set this, and this variable will be pushed inside your index. Let's go over there, use a for each loop. Oops, for each and the post variable as simple. Let's cut this and paste over here, and let's take this item of inside the open curly and close curly brace, item of ID first, and then which user have posted this. You can take that user ID, user underscore ID. Let's mention that user. Save, and then title and the status. So status we are not going to check in this method, we will check in another format. So let's use if condition. If status double equal to 1, then you will tell hidden, else you will tell visible, and if. Save, and then simple thing, another for edit and delete button. Edit, let's add a class for this. Button small, button primary. So let's copy the same thing and paste again for the delete as danger, and let's set a route for this URL, which will be posts / edit as simple. So let's save and let's see the output guys for this first. Refresh. You can see that table has come and data has come. So guys, now let us do the relationship inside this. Let's do the relationship. Let's get back. Let's go to our post controller, model, app, model. Let's go to a post model, public function, users function, public function name users, where return $this belongs to which to user model. So let's call user : class, comma in single quotes, then give comma and single quotes. So user model ID and this post model foreign key ID, as simple. Save. That's it. So guys, now let us see the output for this. So before seeing the output, you need to call that. So this is the user ID. So paste that at that place and give name. So this name is nothing but user table column field. So I'll just show you that user table, this column name. Okay, so I'm copying that and pasting here. Save. Let's refresh. Perfect. So you can see that this post is posted by Ved Prakash, and yep. So now let us log out, login, om@gmail.com 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Let's log in and let's go to post with the logged in by Om. So Om is logged in now, and let's add a post. This is third post. Description. Let's submit. You can see post added successfully. Let's go back. You can see that this is third post added by Om. Cool. So now guys, let's try to edit this. So let's move to editor. Let's close this create file, web route, post model. Let's check the route list guys first. Over here, this is my post controller, and to edit the data, so guys, let's take this edit one, and so let's copy this, copy and concatenate over here, dot paste. So this will call your post ID with the edit. So this will call your function with the edit. Okay, so let's go to edit. Just ignore with the show. Now we are going to work with edit. So let's return view inside my blog folder, blog.edit file. So let's create that edit file first, edit.blade.php, and we need the form design same as our add the post. So let's copy and get back over here. Let's close this create file, and we are working on edit file. Let's change the heading to edit. Yep guys, so let's add that values inside this value, which will be $post. So how are you getting this $post first? So let's take this variable $post and go back to your controller at edit function. So over here you're going to create that $post variable is equal to call your post model colon with the find function, pass the ID $ID. So this $ID is passed now. Simple. Once it's passed, you are going to take this variable and send to this edit file using compact function. So let's send over here, and let's go to edit file with this same post variable, as simple. So let's take this and paste inside a text area. So if in case anyone is using HTML tags to store in description, you can use this symbol. Now let us use this condition, same thing, to check if the status is checked or not. So you can paste over here, and let's call if it is equal to 1, then you need to show checked, else it should be null, as simple. Or else you can just directly give this 1 also. Save. And now let us change this submit button and update this form action URL. So how will you update that? Let us see the route list first. So to update, we are going to use put or patch method. So let us use the put method and just give post with the ID, as simple. That will call your update function. Add the update. Perfect. Let's use at method which will be the put, and pass the ID inside this dot dollar post of your ID. Simple, done. So now let us refresh and check the first output, guys, and then update the data. Let's get back, refresh. Let's click on this first ID, edit. You can see ID number 1 with the edit. This is first post, and it's not checked. Let's say with the other ID, you can see third post, not checked. So guys, now let us select this, and let's tell updated, and let's update the data now. So when you click on update, that time what happens, it goes to the post controller with the update function. So let's write the code to update that. So first create a variable called post is equal to your model post, find a function with this ID. Let's find this ID, and then as simple, same what you have copied for store. So let us copy the same thing, all those things, and make few changes. Paste. We are going to store the user ID and the status also. On this post method, you have to give update function, as simple, and then return and redirect back to same edit page and tell the message as updated successfully. Let's save, and now let us see the output, guys. So let's get back, refresh. Let's tell updated and check this status, and let's click on update. Perfect, post updated successfully. Let's get back to post and see that visibility. So you can see posted data, third post is hidden. The status also has working fine. Cool. So guys, now let us try to delete this post using our resource controller. Let's get back. So this is a final step. Let's move to our index page of the blog, and here, guys, so let's see the route first. As you can see, for delete you are giving this ID. It's not mentioned that you are going to use get or post, but it's mentioned as delete. So let us call this by the form. Let's minimize this. Let's comment and add the form tag. Give the path, URL, function where posts / the ID as same as this. Let's pass this, and the method is equal to post, pass the CSRF token, and then the method will nothing but delete as shown in route, and then as simple one submit button. Let's copy the same thing and paste over here and change this a tag to button. Done, and make this type to submit. And now let us get back. Let's refresh. Let us try to delete this. Click to delete. Okay, post method is sent, but we didn't write the code. So let's get back. Let's move to a post controller. Let's write the code. So first create a variable post is equal to post model, where I'm going to find the ID first. So let's take this ID and paste, and after this you need to call the delete function. Delete function, and same way return and redirect back to the same page with the message called deleted successfully. So to show this message on the index page, so on this page, let's see the code for that. Let's copy this code and paste inside the index page. Save it, and now let's see the output, guys. Refresh, and now let's click to delete again. Cool. So post deleted successfully. let's try to add. So dummy details, let's submit, post added. Let's go to post and let's again delete this. Cool. So you can see that, guys, our data is deleted from database using resource controller. So perfectly everything is set, guys. So in this video we have covered with CRUD application of post. So guys, in this video that's it, and let's continue next video with the new topic. So guys, thank you for watching this video, guys. Please subscribe, like and share.